Ever wondered how to tack up like a pro barrel racer? Well, you're in the right place. We're going to go step by step, starting with the saddle pad placement. This first step is more important than you might think. The saddle pad is your horse's first line of defense against the weight and pressure of the saddle, so getting it right is crucial. Start by placing the saddle pad squarely on your horse's back. It should be centered and a little bit forward. You want the line of the wither hole to be straight in line with where the latigo and cinch are going to go. The pad should cover the entire area where the saddle will sit, providing some much-needed cushioning and protection for your horse's back. Pro barrel racer Fallon Taylor recommends using a saddle pad, not a saddle blanket or Navajo. A square 1-inch thick wool pad works well for her. Remember, the right saddle pad is crucial for both comfort and performance. Now that your saddle pad is in place, let's move to the saddle. Approach your horse from the left side and gently swing your barrel saddle onto your horse's back. Try to put it on lightly and not just drop it onto your horse. A lightweight saddle is a good choice for barrel racing. You might notice some folks give the saddle horn a light wiggle. This is to make sure it settles comfortably into place. But remember, don't push it down too hard. A properly set saddle sits naturally and doesn't require force. As you're doing this, be sure to check your saddle pad. It should remain smooth under the saddle, without any wrinkles or folds. And here's a pro tip for you. Get the lightest saddle you can for barrel racing. This is a small step that can make a world of difference in keeping your horse's loins and joints healthy in the long run. A properly placed saddle is not only comfortable for the horse but also gives you a smooth ride. With the saddle in place, it's time to secure it. The third step in this tacking up process is cinching the saddle. This is a crucial safety step to keep your saddle in place. To do this, you'll need to fasten the cinch in the front and make sure the center rings are down the middle. Now, it's important to make sure the cinch is snug, but not too tight. We want to avoid discomfort or any potential injuries to the horse. A good rule of thumb is to be able to fit 2 fingers or your flat hand between the cinch and your horse's body. This allows for a bit of wiggle room without compromising the stability of the saddle. Just a quick note, if you're working with a young horse, it's a good idea to secure the cinch first before the breast collar. This is a safety measure to prevent the saddle from falling below the horse in case she gets spooked. If your horse gets spooked, and you only have the breast collar attached, the saddle can come down off her back and the situation can get dangerous. Remember to always loosely cinch at this point in saddling and keep the cinch below the vein that runs along your horse's belly. If you don't do this, you run the risk of restricting circulation and your horse can drop down or start bucking. You'll tighten the cinch later on. Now, let's move on to the breast collar. This is an essential piece of equipment that you attach to the saddle's D-rings from the right side of the horse. It's crucial to get the fit right. The breast collar should fit snug, sitting comfortably in the middle. But what is the purpose of the breast collar, you may ask? Officially, it's there to keep the saddle in place during your run, even if the rest of your tack decides to fly off the back. Unofficially, it's a fantastic opportunity to show off your style and look cute. Personalize your breast collar to stand out from the crowd. You can even add a cute wither strap for an extra touch of pizzazz. Here's a pro tip. If you ever lose the keeper that stops the straps from dangling, a simple rubber band will do the trick. Remember, a well-fitted breast collar not only keeps the saddle in place but also adds a touch of personality to your tack. Fit the Western bridle on your horse, making sure the bit is properly positioned in your horse's mouth. This is crucial for communication and control. The headstall should be adjusted correctly, snug but not too tight, allowing for 2 fingers to fit between the bridle and your horse's head. If you notice a lot of action in your horse's mouth, it could be that the poles are uneven, making the fit uncomfortable for your horse. Here's a pro tip. If you have a headstall with Chicago screws or removable conchos, put a drop of Loctite down in the screws so they don't loosen up over time. The type of headstall doesn't really matter for barrel racing. A one-ear headstall is a great choice, but any headstall will do. And the last step is to let your horse walk around in her tack without you on her back. As she walks, she'll take some deep breaths and get comfortable with everything on. Then you can tighten the cinch. Let's recap. We've covered saddle pad and saddle placement, cinching the saddle, fastening the breast collar, and finally fitting the bridle. Each step is important and helps to keep you both safe and have a successful run. Remember the pro tips shared by Fallon Taylor, and check out her channel, and for the full article about barrel saddles, click the link in the description. And there you have it, your guide to tacking up like a pro barrel racer. Remember, practice makes perfect. Happy racing.